Cristiano!
We all have a great story to tell.
Greatness doesn't announce itself. It grows in silence, in sweat, in moments nobody sees. It's built on early mornings, late nights, and sacrifices the world never thanks you for. And when you finally make it, when the lights hit you and the crowd chants your name, that's when they call you a machine. But the truth is, machines don't feel pain. Machines don't cry. Machines don't bleed for their dreams. Cristiano Ronaldo did all of that, and still never stopped moving. Before he was a global icon, before the trophies, the records, and the debates, there was just a boy from Madeira. A small island, a small room, and a dream too big for either. He didn't grow up with privilege. He grew up with purpose. While other kids slept, he ran. While others rested, he worked. Every step, every repetition, every missed chance, it was all programming. The making of something football had never seen before. He wasn't meant to be this fast. He wasn't meant to jump that high. He wasn't meant to keep going when logic said stop. But Ronaldo's story isn't about logic, it's about obsession. The kind that makes people uncomfortable. The kind that turns talent into terror. By the time he hit his prime, it wasn't even football anymore. It was domination. Every movement was calculated. Every goal looked designed. You could plan for him, double mark him, kick him. It didn't matter. He'd find a way. Because Ronaldo didn't play to win. He played to prove. And that's where his story begins. The boy who refused to be ordinary, and in the process, became something the game had never seen. Every story of greatness starts with a spark, a moment that changes everything. For Ronaldo, it wasn't fame or money that lit the fire. It was hunger, the kind you can't fake, the kind that follows you even when you've already won. He was just a skinny kid from Madeira, where the ocean met the hills, and dreams were supposed to stay small. But Ronaldo's dream refused to fit inside that island. His father worked at a local club, washing kits and cleaning balls. And that's where little Cristiano spent his days, barefoot, chasing shadows, and believing one day he'd make the world remember his name. He was different. People saw it early. When other kids laughed, he stayed after training. When coaches told him to rest, he ran more. He cried when he lost, not because it hurt, but because he believed losing wasn't meant for him. At 12, he left everything, his home, his friends, his island, and flew to Lisbon alone. No family, no comfort, just a suitcase and a promise to himself. Nights were long, the accent was mocked, and sometimes he cried into his pillow. But every tear became fuel. He told himself, "They'll remember me." At Sporting Lisbon, he was raw lightning. Too fast, too sharp, too ambitious to contain. Coaches started whispering, players started noticing. And one night in 2003, when Manchester United played a friendly against Sporting, a teenager with bleached hair and impossible confidence tore them apart. Step-overs, speed, control. It was chaos. Sir Alex Ferguson watched from the sidelines, and that night, a legend made his first impression. Ferguson didn't just see talent. He saw obsession, the kind of hunger that couldn't be coached. Within weeks, Ronaldo was in Manchester, wearing the number 7 shirt once worn by legends. People said it was too soon. He smiled and said, "I'll make it mine." That was the spark. The moment football realized this wasn't just another promising kid. This was the start of a storm, one that would change the game forever. When Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United, he was raw chaos. All step-overs, speed, and sparks of brilliance that made crowds gasp but teammates sigh. He had talent, no doubt, but talent alone doesn't scare defenders. Obsession does, and that's what started to take over. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, he was broken down and rebuilt. Every training session was a battle between flair and efficiency, between what looked good and what won games. Ferguson didn't want another showman. He wanted a killer. And slowly, Ronaldo learned that beauty means nothing without purpose. He started studying everything: movement, angles, finishing, even how strikers like Ruud van Nistelrooy position themselves inside the box. Every miss became data. Every mistake became fuel. He worked on his body until he looked carved out of marble. Faster, stronger, meaner. The kid who once danced around defenders was now running through them. The evolution wasn't just physical, it was psychological. He began to understand that football wasn't a game of tricks, it was a war of moments, and he wanted to own every one of them. You could see it in his eyes, that quiet fury before kickoff, that hunger that said, "I'm not leaving this pitch without scoring." Between 2006 and 2007, he became unstoppable. Goals, assists, dribbles, everything refined to perfection. The step-overs were still there, but now they had meaning. The flash was still there, but it was backed by fire. United fans started chanting his name. Rival fans started fearing it. And Ferguson knew his boy had turned into a monster. The kind that doesn't just play football, but controls it. Ronaldo wasn't just part of the system anymore. He was the system. Every attack flowed through him. Every counterattack felt like a countdown. By the time 2008 came around, Ronaldo wasn't chasing greatness. Greatness was chasing him. He was no longer the skinny kid from Madeira trying to prove himself. He had evolved into something colder, sharper, and terrifyingly consistent. A player who looked like he'd been built, not born. The boy had become a machine. By 2008, Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't chasing improvement anymore. He was improvement. Every part of him looked engineered for dominance. The physique of a sprinter, the jump of a basketball player, and the mentality of a soldier. It wasn't luck. It wasn't hype. It was pure design, the result of years of obsession, sacrifice, and control. This was the season where football stopped feeling fair. You could double mark him, kick him, drag him to the ground. It didn't matter. He'd still rise, still score, still smile with that look that said, "You can't stop me." He scored 42 goals that season. 42. From the wing. Every kind of goal imaginable. Free kicks that bent like physics didn't exist. Headers that defied gravity. Solo runs that ended with defenders on the floor. But it wasn't just the numbers. It was the aura. Every time he touched the ball, the stadium tensed. You knew something was about to happen. Ronaldo wasn't playing for applause anymore. He was playing for dominance. His relationship with football had turned mechanical. Precise movements, rehearsed finishes, explosive reactions. He'd become so efficient it was terrifying. The dribbler who once danced was now a finisher who punished. And it all peaked on the biggest stage, the Champions League. Manchester United were flying, and Ronaldo was their engine. His header against Chelsea in the final, that ridiculous hang-time leap where he seemed to pause mid-air, was more than a goal. It was a statement, a declaration that this was his world now. Premier League, Champions League, European Golden Boot, Ballon d'Or. He won everything, every trophy, every accolade, every possible measure of greatness, all in one season. You couldn't argue it. You couldn't deny it. Ronaldo wasn't human that year. But what made it even scarier was how normal it looked for him. While others celebrated, he was already thinking about the next match, the next record, the next challenge. He didn't want to be the best for a season. He wanted to stay there forever. 2008 wasn't just Ronaldo's peak, it was his evolution complete. The moment he crossed that invisible line between man and machine. The moment football realized he'd built himself into something beyond it. When you reach the top of the mountain, the hardest part isn't getting there. It's staying there. 2008 made Ronaldo a king, but kings don't live in peace.
He can score with his left foot, his wrong foot. He can score with his right foot. He can score from distance. He's probably the best poacher now in world football. He can score with penalties. And if you stick it in the box and hang it up there, he'll go and score with a header. And he might even score with a free kick. I do think he's the greatest football player that's ever lived.
The world had already found him a rival, a silent genius from Rosario, Argentina, named Lionel Messi. The rise of Messi changed everything. Suddenly, Ronaldo wasn't just the best, he was being chased. Every goal he scored, Messi answered. Every record he broke, Messi shattered another. And that's where Ronaldo's second transformation began, not out of comfort, but out of necessity. In 2009, he left Manchester United, the club that made him, for Real Madrid.
Manchester United have accepted an £80 million offer for Cristiano Ronaldo.
A world record fee, flashing cameras, endless expectations. The media called it risky. But Ronaldo didn't see risk. He saw challenge. He saw the next level of evolution. Madrid was chaos. Pressure was normal there. It lived in the walls of the Bernabeu. But Ronaldo thrived in chaos. From the first day, he treated every training session like a war, every goal like a message. And that message was clear. I'm not done yet. At Madrid, he became something else entirely. The step-overs faded, replaced by lethal precision. He didn't want to humiliate defenders anymore. He wanted to end them. Fewer tricks, more goals. Fewer smiles, more records. The winger had turned into a striker, and the striker had turned into a serial killer in front of goal. And then there was Messi. Every El Clasico felt like a clash between two gods. Different styles, same hunger. Messi, the artist. Ronaldo, the machine. One painted football with grace. The other broke it apart with power. And every year they pushed each other beyond human limits.
We shared this stage 15 years,
Yeah.
me and him. I don't know if it's ever happened in football. The same two guys in the same stage all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not easy,
No.
as you know. And of course we have a good relationship. Spain, we have that battle the
Yeah.
last 15 years, which is good. He pushed me and I push him as
Yeah.
well.
So
We not had a dinner together yet, but I
Really?
hope in the future.
You're in Monaco tonight.
Ronaldo scored 40, 50, 60 goals a season. Numbers that used to sound impossible. But that was the thing about him. He made impossible sound normal. While the world debated who was better, Ronaldo was focused on something else. Legacy. He didn't want to just win. He wanted to endure. To be remembered long after the noise faded. And as Madrid started lifting Champions League trophies again, as he led Portugal to glory, and as time kept trying and failing to slow him down, one thing became clear. Ronaldo had reinvented himself once again. The machine hadn't rusted, it had upgraded.
You know, Ronaldo's capacity for leaping and scoring with his head is phenomenal. I mean, he is an Olympic high jumper and an Olympic sprinter. He delivers a cross, he scores off both sides and with his head. He is brilliant.
Are you the best footballer in the world right now?
I think so, yes. In my mind, I'm always the best. I don't care what the people are thinking, what they say. In my mind, not just this year, but always, I'm always the best.
Time catches everyone. The legs slow down, the body feels heavier, and the game that once obeyed your every move begins to drift away. But for Cristiano Ronaldo, time didn't feel like an enemy. It was just another opponent to defeat. Even as the years passed, he never stopped evolving. The flash was gone, but the focus was sharper than ever. At Real Madrid, he'd become the ultimate weapon. Clinical, fearless, inevitable. Then came Juventus, then Manchester United again, then Al Nassr. Different clubs, same hunger. The shirt changed, the league changed, but the mindset? Never. He wasn't just chasing goals anymore. He was chasing immortality, and in a way, he caught it. Over 950 career goals, 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions Leagues, records in 3 of Europe's top leagues, and an entire generation of footballers who grew up wanting to be him. But what really made Ronaldo different wasn't just the numbers, it was the mentality. That relentless drive to outwork, outlast, and outshine everyone around him. He made professionalism look cool. He made obsession feel like a gift. He proved that greatness isn't something you're born with. It's something you earn every single day. Because Ronaldo wasn't built by talent. He was built by rejection, by late nights, by doubt, by pain. He turned criticism into energy. He turned failure into fuel. He took the fragile idea of potential and hammered it into steel. And that's what made him timeless. Even now, when the world debates who's the greatest, when the new names rise and the old ones fade, Ronaldo's name doesn't disappear. It echoes. Because his legacy isn't just about goals or trophies. It's about what he represented: discipline, ambition, perfection. Cristiano Ronaldo was more than a footballer. He was proof that with enough hunger, enough belief, and enough pain, you can turn yourself into something extraordinary. Prime Ronaldo wasn't just a footballer in form. He was a vision of what obsession looks like when it's perfected. Every sprint, every goal, every stare into the crowd told the same story. A man who refused to break. He wasn't superhuman. He was human, who refused to accept the limits of being one. And maybe that's what made him special. Because while others were satisfied with greatness, Ronaldo was chasing impossibility. And for a time, during those peak years when he made football look unfair, he didn't just reach it. He became it.